There are so many artists who at one point had a lot of success in the music industry, but the issue is that they stopped releasing music. So I'm going to talk about some of these artists and what happened with them. But first, make sure to subscribe so that you can see more of Adam the Flop Bops. So the first artist I want to talk about is Zendaya, who, while signed to Disney, released her debut self-titled album in 2013. The album itself didn't do amazing. It peaked at number 51 on the Billboard 200, but what this album did was it gave us the bop Replay, which was a top 40 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. Something really unique about Zendaya and this album, though, is that she co-wrote almost every song on it, which was really uncommon for Disney artists. After this album, it was a while before Zendaya released music again, but she returned in 2016 with the single Something New featuring Chris Brown. This song really could have been a hit if it had a different feature. Zendaya supposedly had to scrap the music video and all promo for the song after Chris Brown decided to be controversial on the internet. What happened was, in 2016, Kehlani posted on Instagram opening up about a time when she tried to unalive herself. Chris Brown then seemingly subtweeted her by saying that she was just doing that for sympathy and was trying to flex on Instagram. So after all this, Zendaya probably really regretted having Chris Brown as the feature, which definitely makes sense because why would you want to associate with someone like that? So this whole situation makes me mad because Something New is genuinely a good song, and with promo it could have been a massive hit, but it ended up peaking at number 93 on the Billboard Hot 100. After Something New, Zendaya kind of ghosted the music industry, and the only songs she's released since then have been soundtrack songs for her acting projects like The Greatest Showman and Euphoria. She actually explained last year, though, why she doesn't release music anymore. She said, "I don't know if I could be a pop star. It's because as an actress, there's a certain level of anonymity that I get to have, which I really enjoy." And this definitely makes sense. I mean, even though she's one of the most famous actresses out there, I think being a pop star is just so different and you're in the spotlight much more, such as when you're going on tour and when you're doing music videos and stuff like that. Whereas as an actor, you can sort of hide a little bit and only go in the spotlight once you have a project coming out. So don't get me wrong, I'm so happy that Zendaya has become a star in the acting world, but I can't help but hope that she releases another album someday. The next artist I want to talk about is someone who had multiple hits, Hailee Steinfeld. So Hailee gained a lot of popularity after appearing in Pitch Perfect 2, and this led her to sign with Republic Records in 2015. And her music career was off to a great start when she released her debut EP, Haze. This was the EP that had the song Love Myself, which became Hailee's breakthrough hit and peaked at number 30. And after this, she had some pretty successful collaborations. Her song Starving with Zedd and Grey from 2016 became her most successful song, peaking at number 12, and her song Let Me Go with Florida Georgia Line peaked at number 40. 2016 and 2017 would have been the perfect time for Hailee to release her debut album, but she didn't. In fact, after these successful collabs, she started becoming really inconsistent with releasing music. She released some soundtrack songs in 2018 and 2019, but her next body of work didn't come until 2020. She had a whole plan to release 2 EPs in 2020. One of them she did release. It was called Half Written Story, and she was supposed to release the second part of that EP in the summer of 2020, but she didn't, and she never addressed it. After this, it was a whole 2 years before we got another Hailee Steinfeld single. She returned in July of 2022 with her song Coast featuring Anderson .Paak, and this song didn't chart, but I personally loved it. It's actually one of my favorite Hailee Steinfeld songs, and I was hoping that she would follow this up with her debut album. She did not release another song or an album after that, but the good news is that she seems a lot more serious about putting out music now. She has been posting more pictures of her in the studio lately and has been teasing more music, so I definitely think that we'll get more from her in 2023, but I really hope that it's her debut album. She had so many hits at the start of her music career, so it's kind of crazy to think that she could have been huge in the music industry if she was just more consistent with releases. It makes sense why she wasn't too focused on music though, because just like Zendaya, Hailee has definitely prioritized acting, and she's done so many big projects like Dickinson and Hawkeye. And she's definitely famous enough from projects like these to where if she puts out an album this year, I think it could do pretty well because she has so many fans and everybody for the most part knows who she is. Up next is someone who most certainly would have been a main pop girl if she kept releasing music, Bridget Mendler. So while starring in the Disney show Good Luck Charlie, Bridget put out her 2012 debut album, Hello, My Name Is, while signed to Disney's label Hollywood Records. The album itself peaked at number 30, and she saw moderate success with the single Ready or Not, which peaked at number 49, and the song Hurricane, which did not chart but did become a fan favorite. After this album, though, Bridget ended up splitting from Hollywood Records and she didn't release music for a long time. The next time we heard new music from her was in 2016 when she released her EP Nemesis as an independent artist. This EP didn't have much commercial success, but it did receive so much love to the point where I still see so many people talking about it today. Bridget ended up putting out a couple of singles after this in 2017, but then she completely stopped releasing music. But if you just take a look at her LinkedIn profile, you'll understand why. She graduated with her bachelor's degree from the University of Southern California in 2016. Then she went to MIT to get her master's degree, which she completed in 2020. And after that, she stayed at MIT to get her PhD, which she'll finish in 2024. And she'll also graduate from Harvard Law School in 2024. So if there's one thing about Bridget Mendler, she is booked and busy, but just in an academic way, not really in a music way. I definitely don't think that she's completely done with music, especially because she has teased a little bit on her Twitter account. Back in 2021, she posted a snippet of a song, and recently she tweeted saying, "Sit tight for news." So hopefully that means that this year we'll get a big comeback moment from Bridget Mendler. I do think though that her not releasing music sort of helped her in a way. I've seen so many viral TikToks of people saying that they miss her, so I think that if she does return to music this year, it has the potential to be big. Also, it would just be so iconic if she put out music while still attending Harvard and MIT. Even though Zendaya, Hailee Steinfeld, and Bridget Mendler have sort of ghosted the music industry, I am glad that they continue to receive so much love today because if they do decide to return to music, I'm sure that it'll be good for them. Thank you all so much for tuning into this episode of Adam the Flop Bops. Make sure you're subscribed so that you can see more, and also check out my short form content on my other social media profiles.